So I am really excited about CES 15, and today I want to discuss one of the large areas of the event that I'm most excited about, and that area is the smart home. Now, now today I really just want to talk about the whole idea of the smart home, and I really want to discuss our relationship with the smart home, and how we're really getting to know the smart home better. Now, one of the things also, it looks like that a lot of the products that we have in our home are really starting to see eye to eye, and I really think the possibilities are limitless. Also, one of the things with these smart products is the whole setting up process. I think with these products, we're really gunning for something where you can kind of set it up and forget it. And of course, there's those big companies who are trying to win us over. I think if these big companies can get involved, which they are, I think I think the smart home market can really start to grow. Now, the way I want to start this video is I want to kind of talk about the Nest Learning Thermostat. And for me, and I think a lot of people watching this video, you probably own one. Now, I know the Nest really introduced my family to a smarter way of heating and cooling our home. And since then, it's really gave us an opportunity to continue to add smart home products that have recently hit the market, which I think I'll get in a little bit later in the video. Now, here's the issue. The issue is that a lot of these products don't really work together, or they're not very self-aware. I think we have Google and Apple who are really here to really solve that problem. Google has their Nest API and Apple has its HomeKit SDK. And I'm hoping that this software really resolves that issue. Now, what's your smart home relationship status? Some may say it's complicated. For me, we have been dating for a while. I have invested a lot in their relationship, like the Nest Protect, the Drop Cam, the iGrill, and the Wemo switch. I am almost ready to propose, but smart home tech, you're moving a little slow for me to decide. And of course, I am not sure where we should live, in the Google ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem. For now, Google and Apple, you are in the friend zone. Our past relationship started off with no applications, but as time went on, applications slowly became available. We also grew in size from a small screen to a large screen, and we got faster. 3G is now 4G. Now let's dig a little bit deeper into what this means for consumers who are going to use these smart home accessories. Now, when I think of how the smart home market will grow, I think of a relationship that I'm currently in with my smartphone. The relationship has been really good, but a bit buggy and fragmented at the start. Now, looking way back, my first smartphone was a BlackBerry 7250, and something as simple as getting email on the go gave me access to not just my email, but my agenda. This is something I think made us much more productive rather than checking email on our personal computer. Now, in contrast, checking to ensure we lock the front door or even turned off the space heater can also make us a little more efficient. I might have fooled around with you when I was a little bit younger. I'm talking about the garage door opener, or that programmable sprinkler system, which, if you look back, was the beginning of how making functions in our homes smarter. Automated garage door openers and sprinkler systems are still around, but the internet has more than just made the garage door opener smarter. So I have 3 applications for each smart home accessory that I have. One for my Nest Learning thermostat, another for my Wemo switch, and another one for my drop cam. As an individual into cutting edge technology, this is not so much of an issue to set up and maintain and use. But the average consumer, this would be a big headache to set up and operate. So the goal is to get everything under one roof to ensure things become much more consumer friendly. Once this occurs, smart homes will begin to mature in a way many of us may visualize many years ago, for those old enough or can remember the Jetsons. For some, this will be your first time, but for others, hooking up will be a walk in the park. Setup and maintenance for the average consumer will be difficult. It was a challenge for a techie like myself. We need a level of consistency, and that's where Apple and Google comes into play. Now we want to do more with our smartphones. We want to do more and more with our smartphones, and that's one of the reasons we tend to upgrade so often. This demand will continue to grow. As you might imagine, the 2 companies at the forefront to get everything under one rock is Google and Apple. It's a fight between Apple and Google. They are buying up smaller companies to win the fight. Which SDK do developers pick? First, Android or iOS? Which would you pick? Leave a comment below. I will pick Apple since they simplify the UI for all the projects that they work on for the end user. The benefit of this allows users of Apple and Google products not to have to worry about downloading additional software from the App Store or the Play Store. Everything works out the box of the new hardware. At this point, Apple has partnered with a few big companies such as Honeywell and Kwikset to work on their HomeKit software. The whole idea allows one app or even command such as Siri to respond to commands such as, "Hey Siri, turn on the lights." As I mentioned, Honeywell is one of Apple's partners, which kind of sucks because I have a Nest Learning thermostat. Siri won't be able to interact with my Nest, but it appears my Google app on my Apple iPhone will at some point, based on asking Google, turn the temperature to 75 degrees. Unfortunately, I get a failed control Nest message when I attempt to command even after I set up everything. So it's up to developers and users to decide on who to buddy with, Google or Apple. I think maybe Google, since I'm heavily invested with Google. Like I said, I own a Nest, not to mention I own a drop cam which is owned by Nest, as well as a Moto 360. On the other hand, I most likely will own an Apple Watch. And currently I own a Mac Mini, iPad Mini, and my wife owns an iPhone as well. Now keep in mind, I do own an Android phone for work, which is the Note 3. And of course, we all love our Chrome browser. So I'm sure Google will incorporate the same function in the browser they have on the Google iPhone application. I think a lot of questions will be answered at CES 2015. Now let's kind of talk about hardware support. Both the Nest API and the HomeKit for Apple is the location I strongly feel both manufacturers want to arrive to. So they want to use both. Currently, most popular apps such as, let's say, a game like Angry Birds were developed for both iOS and Android. The same will happen with hardware, either the Nest Hub or Apple Hub. This may take a few years to see, but we may see more at CES 2016. Only time will tell. The relationship is good, but we need to grow together. One product that we have in our home that I have yet to see either Google or Apple partner with is the refrigerator. The question is, how does the kitchen know what we have in our cabinets built-in refrigerator. A couple ways it could determine is, one, have your local store share all your purchases to maybe a kitchen database. Now, almost no additional steps the consumer needs to take to gain this type of information. A second way, which will most likely fail, is to use some sort of scanner system, whether it's on your smartphone or a scanner in your home, to keep track of what's coming in and going out. Or last, the one I particularly like is RFID technology that always knows what's in your kitchen real time. From what I understand, RFID technology is still quite expensive. So that could be the delay among grocery stores adopting the technology for selling its products. Also, another item to look at is predicting what food a family has in its kitchen. Has a large list of moving parts, such as time of the year, kids are in school, even the age of kids. The list really goes on. But you know one thing, not to worry. Don't worry about costs. Companies like Google and Apple will make the service free, hear me out, in exchange for your detailed shopping eating habits. At the end of the day, it boils down to who has the information to sell targeted advertisement. Supermarkets will be able to stock shelves better to reduce waste. While this may reduce costs, you may see supermarket delivery service finally take off. As we collect more information, things will begin to work like we predict the weather. But at the end of the day, do we want our health insurance companies to know we're eating 3 bags of chips a week? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the washer and dryer. Now, these items have become a little bit smarter, but I think we can get there. Again, I'm thinking RFID technology, but only time will tell. Not sure we can make these waterproof. I'm guessing we can. But for laundry, it would be nice if your washer and dryer knew what clothes were dirty, right? And it could tell you, hey, the weather's starting to warm up. You need to wash some of your summer clothes. Or we could go further to know the clothes you wore last year will not fit because your credit card company knows you often eat fast food and share that with Google, which knows you don't work out because your smartwatch knows your GPS location, which also knows you only took 300 steps today. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Enjoy CES. Leave comments below. Let me know if there's any items that you want to talk about for the new 2015 year related to the smart home. Well, again, subscribe if you really like the video, and also push the like button and leave comments below. Well, thanks a lot, guys, and take it easy. Bye-bye.